Let's go get it in October 2025. This is the October 2025 Business Astro-Numerology Forecast. You are listening to Astro-Numerology Reveal, and I'm Kimbaley. Today, I'm going to go over the monthly business forecast for you. And I want to start by talking about some of the news, what's going on politically, and I'm sure that a lot of people know it, but at this time, the U.S. government has shut down. An estimated 900,000 federal workers are expected to be furloughed, and another 700,000 may continue to work without pay. This is what the climate is in our environment right now. So it is very important that we listen to this astronumerology forecast for business so that you can align your business, and you're going to discover in just a few moments that this may be the very best time for you to step out there. This may be a good time if you would like to get into business for yourself to get something started. And for those of you who are already in situations like with this government shutdown and you've been affected by it, it could be a good time also for you to get up in your business. And for those who already have businesses, this is the time for you to double down. This is the time for you to step it up in your business. And this forecast is going to help you, because not only is this the October 2025 forecast, it is also the preview season. So what you see in this month will be a reflection of what you will see in your business next year. We're going to get all into it, and I'm going to tell you the details. But first, I want to let you know that the show is being brought to you by the legendary astronumerologist Lloyd Strayhorn and the fabulous Star 8 app. This app has a calendar. And by the way, on this app, you are able to actually check the compatibility of your business. So this app is a great app to have. It's like having a numerologist in your pocket. And if you want to be able to check your compatibility with your business, and I also use it for other things too, like naming things for my business. It may be a service or product that you want to name. You can see if that is compatible with your business also under the premium subscription. So make sure you check out the app, and make sure you check out the premium subscription. So we're going to get on to the universal forecast. So now I'm going to get into October 2025. So for October 2025, we are in a one annual business cycle. Let's talk about what that means for you. It means a fresh start for your business, and it is a powerful time for you to plant seeds that will grow into the year of 2026. It is also the preview season where the themes of independence, leadership, and new ventures rise to the surface. Businesses now are being nudged to innovate, test bold ideas, and to put yourself in position for the new 9-year cycle that's about to begin. We're in a 1 month for October. So that means that whatever you set intentions for your business in this month is going to play out over the next 9 months. But as you heard, this is the preview season. Next year is going to be a one annual business cycle for everyone. So that means whatever seeds you plant, whatever intentions you set, are going to dictate what the next 9 years is going to be like for your business. So, this is a time to really step it up in your business, especially if there are things that you want to try that are new that you've been wanting to try for a while. This is the time to go ahead and do so. What this one energy is calling for is for you to be confident, for you to show initiative and visibility. It's about launching, branding, and declaring your business. So you should be focused on launching new products. You should be focused on branding your products and especially the personal brand. And this is the perfect time for it because the number one ruled by Leo when the sun is all about being magnetic. And it's also a time for you to set intentions for your vision. However, there's the other side of this also. And the other side is you have to be careful of being impatient, especially in this first week. And we're going to talk about that. You're going to have to be careful of ego driven decisions or getting started too much without a strategy, because recognize that the number one is fire energy. That fire energy loves to burn. That fire energy loves to go, go, go. Sometimes you can just burn yourself out when you don't have the proper strategy. So, what you want to do is think of October as a runway. Whatever you set in motion now, it will take off in 2026. And so we're going to get a little bit more into this preview season. And the reason why it's called the preview season is because of the fact that it's a one universal month, which matches the year that we will be going into, which will be a one annual business cycle. So, whatever you see happening in this month is really a reflection or mirror of what you can expect next year. One is always the start of a brand new cycle. Expect things to be innovative, expect new industries emerging. And what I feel like with the information that I gave you earlier, next year, and maybe even starting this month, we're going to begin to see more and more people step out there to start their own businesses. And that's because these numbers manifest. And we know with manifestation is happening whether we know or realize that it's happening or not. So whether people understand that it's that energy that's giving them that get up and go or that get started energy, is going to be there anyway, whether they even know about it. So it's important to know that even if you don't want to go into this cycle, you're going to be going into this cycle anyway. And because it is a cycle that all businesses will go through, you will feel the energy of this as well. So you can also expect major leadership shifts across all sectors. You can expect for startups and entrepreneurs to thrive. So, this is your time. Branding, originality, and personal leadership is going to be essential for you. Playing small or following outdated models will not work for you. Just because those things worked for you in the past don't mean that they are going to continue to work. Let's talk again about this universal cycle. If The cycle is telling you to do one thing, which is do new things and be innovative and step out there on something new. Then you're not going to do very well with the outdated models. So, as I said earlier, the seeds you plant in October 2025 carry momentum into the launch energy of 2026. These are some of the things that are favored. Here are some of the things that you should be doing in October, the one Universal Business Month. You should be starting something new. This could be your project, your offering. Do something different to your branding. Step it up a little bit. You should also be concerned about partnerships or new ventures. Lead with confidence. This is the time because the number one energy is the spotlight energy. Remember, I said the number one is ruled by the sun. So you're going to step out in the spotlight or step out in that sunshine, and you're going to be seen. You're going to claim your authority and you're going to direct your own path. No more following other people. It's time to take your business to the next level. Put it out there so people can see it and show them that you have the authority. You should also be planting seeds for 2026 or setting intention. This is a time that you want to write down your business goals. And we're going to talk about this because with the one has an interchangeable number, and that interchangeable number is the number 4. And the 4 is all about foundation, structure, strategy. This is a time for you to write down your business goals, map out strategies, and take the line first steps. Get your strategy right, get your plan together, and then take those first steps to get to where you need to be, and do it in that order. Innovate, experiment with fresh ideas. Those things that you've been holding on to, those ideas that you have not released because you feel like they're different and people may not understand it. This is the month for them to begin to understand those things. New technologies. So if there's new technologies, make sure you try those out. You know, I talked about earlier the benefits of the Star 8 app. That's a technology that you can try. Or you can use creative approaches this year because Leo energy is creativity. Network with visionaries. So what you want to do is you want to begin to network. Surround yourself with those business owners who are already at the place that you would like to be in. These are going to be people that can show you the ropes. These are going to be your mentors. And also make sure that you're surrounding yourself with people who inspire you to move forward. Check out these people. Do you see that they're moving forward in their business? If you see that they are moving forward, they could very well be a source of inspiration to you. Another thing that you should do is focus on you. Clarify your personal brand, your business identity, and what makes you stand out. What makes you different from everybody else? Because remember, this is not just a 1 month, it's a 1-4 month because these numbers are interchangeable and they're always together. The number 4 is different, unique, not like everybody else. So don't be afraid to try something different. And there may be something unique about your business that you don't show that much because you are worried about how it's perceived by others. But this is a year for you to bring that out because what's important is that your business stands out. Sometimes the different that you think will drive people away is the difference that your business may need to get to where you want to get to. Make sure that you are acting on inspiration quickly. If a door opens, take the initiative before it closes, and make sure that you are aware that there's adjacent possibilities. Meaning, don't just consider that there's only one or two ways for revenue to come through or for you to get whatever results you're looking for, because there's no limit to how things can come to your business. So don't just be expecting everything to come through door number one. Also be aware that there's several other doors that things can come through. I'll give you an example for that. Let's just say that you needed a certain amount of money for your business and you felt like the only way that you could obtain that amount of money is through a loan. And for some reason, maybe your business tries for the loan and the loan doesn't go through, and now you're thinking that there's no other way to get what you need. But there very well could be other opportunities to get it, but you've shut your mind off to just that one thing. So open your mind to unlimited possibilities. That's all I want to say about that. We talked about some of the things that you should do for October 2025. Let's talk about some of the things that you should not do. So, you don't want to be clinging on to the past. That was last month. So, past things will be outdated systems, especially those that are not working anymore. Old partnerships that the people in the partnerships are not on the same page. There's no harmony there, or maybe there's just no growth in that relationship. Make sure that you don't have to just say, "Hey, I don't like you anymore. You're not useful to me anymore." Just detach yourself from the expectations and don't hold on to the way things have always been. And we've already talked about that. Focus on the present. The past is already gone. So last month should have been the month that you've cleaned out all of those things. But if you have not cleaned out all of those things that are no longer serving your business, this is the month for you to start working on that as you start to move forward, because you will notice that you won't be able to move forward until you get rid of the dead weight. Another thing that you don't want to do for this month is to overthink or procrastinate. The number one energy rewards action, not hesitation. The number one energy is saying, get up, go get it, not wait for it. So make sure that you go get it. And the energy I'm feeling is the early bird gets the worm. So, hey, there you have it. Also, don't let fear of visibility hold you back. Don't avoid the spotlight. Don't avoid putting your business out front and center. When people compliment your business, and I know some people have problems with this, when people compliment your business, to say thank you, accept it, be gracious, don't be shy, don't be bashful. Own your authority. We talked about that earlier. So when you avoid the spotlight, you limit your opportunities, because when the light is shining directly on you, other people can see you. But if you avoid the spotlight or the sunshine, then that means you're in darkness. So make sure that you have your business in a space where it is visible. And on social media, you can do that. Just make sure that you're doing enough to make sure that you're visible on social media. And if it's in person, just Let people know that you're there. People want to know that you're there because some people think that what they have in their business is not what other people want, especially when sales are low or down. But that's not always the case. Sometimes it's not that people don't like your content, like your products, services. It's just that they don't know that it's there. So you have to be visible. Also, this one energy is going to make you feel like you have a lot of energy and you're going to want to act on so many things, but do not start too many things at once. Make sure that you focus on one or two at the time and create that strategy and work your way through. And once you complete it, then you can begin on another project. Starting too many things can, number one, burn you out. And number two, it can cause that procrastination because you're focused on so many things and nothing gets done. So avoid focusing on too many things at one time. Also, don't lead from your ego. Confidence is magnetic, but there's a big difference between arrogance, selfishness, and confidence. So when you're arrogant and selfish, these things backfire. People look at you as your business. You are the business. They also look at your behavior, your character. How are you? And if you come off seeming arrogant or selfish, then people are less likely want to deal with you, and not just the consumers or your clientele, but also people that may be good to network with because they don't want to bring that energy into their business. Don't ignore structure. Enthusiasm without planning can lead to burnout or half finished projects. That goes back to what we were talking about earlier, starting too many things at once. You got to make sure that you have a structured approach. And overall, don't expect instant results. Remember, this is the month to sow seeds. This is the month to set intentions. This is not the harvest. If you start this month, you can expect that you can see a harvest probably in the next 8 cycle. So make sure that you're not thinking that everything you do is going to happen all at once, because it's not going to do that. We know with seeds, it takes time. And I like to say seed time and harvest. You plant your seed, there's that time period where it's being nurtured, and then there's harvest season. So keep that in mind. This month will favor Leos or Aquarius, or it will favor those born on the 1st, the 4th, the 10th, the 13th, the 19th, the 22nd, the 28th, or the 31st of the month. The overall advice for October: this is about setting intentions for your vision and daring to take the first step. Look at this as springtime for your business. Not everything that you plan is going to bloom right away, but without planting now, there won't be a harvest in 2026. So get to planting and get to setting intentions. Now we're going to go through the weeks. We're going to start with week 1. This is October the 1st through 7th. And week 1 happens to be a 2 universal business week. And the theme is cooperations, partnerships, intuition. This week is about soft launches, collaborations, and relationship building. Balance the independence drive of the 1 month with the need to connect and cooperate. Networking, partnership agreements, and client care are emphasized. Because this is a 2 week, I also want to elaborate on the theme of patience. We just talked about patience earlier. So we're in that 1 month, and in this very first week, we're experiencing the 2 week. What two tells us to do is to be patient and compassionate. What I like to think about when I think about the 2 week, because you can see this out when you're in nature or out and about or whatever. I notice that whenever I go out on Mondays, because Mondays is a 2 day because it's ruled by the moon. But every time I go out on a Monday, I have to pack my patience. It's because everywhere I go, the lines are going to be long. I don't care if it's the gas line, the grocery line. Everywhere I go, it's just a waiting game. That's the two energy. Also, with the two energy, this is a good time for you to write, because we talked about being the authority for this one cycle. This is a time to begin writing in this number 2 week, because 2 favors writing as well. So make sure that you're networking with people. Make sure you're building relationships or mending relationships. That will be very important. And focus on collaborations as well, because someone may be able to help you and you may be able to help someone else in their business. The things that you should do is strengthen professional relationships. That goes back to mending those relationships. Nurture client loyalty. Let clients know that you care. This is a good time for you to send out messages to your clientele and just let them know that you're thinking about them. Or just a stroke of gentleness and kindness will go a long way during this week. Collaborate and brainstorm with partners. You'll find that the information that you come up with through the collaborations this week are going to be awesome. Use your intuition to kind of feel out who is the person that you should be collaborating with, or the person that you should be networking with. And with all negotiations, take your time, practice patience, and read the small print if you're going to sign any contract. This means you go through that contract diligently to make sure that everything is what it says it is. Because with the two being ruled by the moon can create illusions sometimes and also delusions. So make sure that you are reading those small print, reading the small print in any contract, or make sure that you're clear about any negotiations that you make. What you shouldn't do is push too aggressively for your own agenda, because that fire energy is going to be telling you to go. But what's going to happen is if you do try to go, then you're going to be conflicted, because that water and that fire energy does not go together well. So you should, even though you feel like doing it, you should just be patient during this week. Don't ignore team dynamics or overlook emotional undercurrents. If there's tension between your staff or tension with the people that you're networking or collaborating with. Make sure that you're listening to your gut and make sure that you're paying attention to what you feel. Don't overlook these things. There may be something that you have to go deeper into. We're going to move on to week 2, and week 2 is October the 8th through the 14th, and it is a 3 universal business week. The theme is creativity, communication, and visibility. So now you're coming up out of that patient water energy and you're going back into fire. And we know this is fire because it talks about creativity. So this means it's time for you to step in the spotlight. This is the time to focus on your marketing, your messaging, and your visibility. If you are a person that's on social media, this would be the perfect week for you to batch create content for you to use on social media because video is favored this week. This is a perfect week for presentations, pitches, campaign, or anything that spreads your brand's voice. So I challenge you to find a new way to put your brand out there, a new angle. That doesn't mean to stop everything that you're doing, but find one extra outlet. And who knows, that may be the golden outlet. It may be a social media platform that you haven't tried before. Could be a podcast, and this is communication. And also, like I said, visibility and creativity. What you should be doing is launching marketing campaigns, creating that batch content that I was telling you about. And when I say batch content, that means that on a good day during that week, when you're really feeling good, you sit down and you create a few videos, something that you can use for later. This is a good time to share your story or tell stories. Tell stories about your business. Tell your brand story. This is the perfect week for you to do it. Also, highlight your personality in your branding. People know that the business is yours, but what they need to see is that you are the business. Some of the things that you shouldn't do is overpromise or exaggerate results. You should not work yourself too much. That means you're just continuing to go when you're not getting the proper amount of rest because this is a week where you can get very, very busy. And try not to, it's going to be hard, but don't scatter your energy over so many projects. And we heard that before. So don't allow what people say to silence you. Because don't get me wrong, everybody or everything is not for everybody, even though I think it should be sometimes. Like this information right here, it's not for everybody. It's only for the elite. So if you're listening, you're elite. But seriously, everything is not for everybody, and everybody may not like you, but that does not mean that you stop being who you are. The people that are your tribe, the people that are loyal to you, they want the real you, the authentic you. They could care less what these other people are talking about. No matter what anybody says, you continue to do you. And sometimes you just know it because sometimes people will try to come in and tell you, well, I think you should do this. But at the end of the day, it's your business. And that's when you can really tell somebody, "It's none of your business." But no, we would not say that. But the point that I'm trying to make is you have to go with your heart. You know what your business mission is, and you are the one that has to follow that business mission. So what other people say should not be your concern. And I've always been taught that what other people think about you is their business, not yours. Okay? I don't know who needed that, but somebody did. We're going to move on to week 3, October the 15th through the 21st. And this is a Universal 4 Business Week. The theme is structure, discipline, and systems. This is a 4-1 week because the 1 and 4 are interchangeable. The theme for this week: structure, discipline, systems. This is the foundation building week. This is the week that you're going to be building your foundation. After having fun with your creativity in week 2, now it's time to streamline things, organize, and get your back end in order. So you're going to focus on systems that will sustain growth in 2026. This is a time to get out the old pad and pencil. I like pad and pencil because when you write, it sticks with you more. This is a time to pull that out and begin to think about a strategy that you will apply for the next year. And we're saying the next year because we know that's going to be the year to set intentions and plant new seeds. This is the time for you to write those things down, write out your plan, and begin to focus on it. Because think about it, you've never seen an architect build anything without first creating a plan. And thinking about plan, if you haven't done so already and you're considering starting a business, you have a business, you just want more growth in your business. If you're interested in learning more about Business Astro-Numerology, you can go to Kimbaley.com and check me out. I have created, speaking of strategies, my own strategy, and my strategy is Business Astro-Numerology and how to use the ancient science of numerology to align your business with success. You can get the book that I've just written from Amazon that tells you all about that system, how it works. And if you want to sit with me to talk about what Business Astro-Numerology is, you can go to Kimbaley.com and you can book a 20-minute consultation and we can talk about it. And you can also book services and products there, such as your annual business forecast. So make sure that you check me out or get the book. Now, the things that you're going to be doing in this Universal for Business Week is reviewing contracts, policies, and legal structure, making sure that everything is all right. Because this too represents boundaries, number 4 does. And number 4 is saying making sure that everything is within your boundaries. This is also a good time for you to organize your finances, check over them to make sure that you have a good count of everything that's going out, everything that's coming in, and that everything is balanced just right. This is also a time for you to check on your staff and see what your staffing is up to. If they have any questions, concerns, or comments, ask them questions. This is the time for training or infrastructure. Also, establish routines for consistent productivity. And this is a time to create systems to make your work easier for you. And when I talk about a system, I'm talking about something like an email automation. So you have things set up to take on some of the tasks of your business without you having to be there handling that 24/7. Just imagine if you had someone answering your calls and you didn't have to answer calls anymore. That way you can focus more on your business. So see what type of systems are available that can help free you up from some of the things that you've been doing, especially if you are a solopreneur. And this is the time for you to try new things. Or if you want to change things a little bit, that's favor in this period as well. Also, this is a good time for analyzing things. And it's a time for you to go back in your paperwork to make sure that everything is in place. Some of the things that you shouldn't do is to cut corners on details. One thing that I've learned about the number 4 is the number 4 likes things done in order, step by step by step. However, we know that everybody that's a number 4 or every business that's a number 4 may not follow that concept. But what happens is when you don't follow that concept, you'll be made to go back and do it all over again. Number 4 is ruled by Uranus, and Uranus is the planet of sudden change. And it doesn't change things just to be changing things. It changes things that are outdated. It changes things so you can grow on to the next level. So, what Uranus is saying is if you don't get it step by step, we're going to have to take you back down to the base or the foundation and start over again. Because if you're going to build the structure, whatever it is, it could be a project, it could be something new that you're launching, whatever it is, if you don't follow that structure or follow that strategy, then by the time you get almost to the end, it may come down on you. So it's important for you to take things one step at a time and don't skip steps. Also, you shouldn't be avoiding responsibility or procrastination, and you shouldn't be resisting structure by clinging to the chaos. A lot of times people get stuck in what happened. Sometimes there may be some wins and sometimes there may be some losses. However, you have to learn how to accept those times that you feel like is a loss and learn the lesson that is within it instead of clinging to it because you don't want to cling on to that thing and be stuck in the chaos. So we're going to move on to week number 4, which is October the 22nd through October the 31st, and it's a Universal 5 business week. The theme for this week is change, freedom, expansion. This is the final stretch of the month, and it opens up doors for innovation, risk taking, and adaptability. There's opportunities for change, travel, or to expand this week. And also be flexible and ready to embrace change. Now, the last week was a 4 business week, and that week was about structure and being more rigid and setting boundaries. But this week kind of takes away that restriction that you will get from the last week. You're going to get some freedom. You're going to get to move around. Things are going to change a little bit. You're going to really enjoy this time. Expect some business traveling. And this is also a good time for promoting. This is the time for networking, getting yourself out there. And this is also a good time for business. So make sure that you're accepting the changes that are coming through, if there are any changes that happens this week. This is the week where you might get some brilliant ideas. So make sure that if you do get some ideas, then that you should write those things down. The do's for the week is explore new markets, ideas, or technologies. If you have anything that you want to try that is new, this is the time to do it. You should also try to do promotional events, launch things, or take some brief trips. Make sure that you embrace adaptability in your plans. So be ready to change your plans if necessary on a drop of a dime. And take calculated risk to position for growth. If there's something that you want to invest in, and I'm not just talking about financial investment, but invest in yourself or anything for the business, then this is a great week to do that. But don't resist change or cling on to the outdated methods. Don't overextend yourself with impulsive risk. Don't be just taking risks to be taking risks. Make sure that you understand that these are calculated risks. And don't neglect grounding practices while chasing excitement. Even though you're going to feel so excited because you're not in that restrictive week anymore, don't overdo it. Use what you learned in that last week to make sure that you can ground some of that excitement so you just don't be all over the place and scattered. For October 2025 as a universal one business month, it's about setting intentions about who you are and where your business is headed. This week's vibrations will guide you from cooperation, that's week 2, to visibility in week 3, to structure in week 4, and finally expansion in week 5. Together, these weeks form a synergy, and this synergy is going to be what sets the stage for a powerful one annual business cycle for 2026.